with hints, tips and tradie chat. Grab yourself a brew because it's about to start. This is Women in Trades with Amy the Sparky.
Before the show starts, I just quickly wanted to talk to you about Tradify. Tradify is a fast-growing job management platform for all busy tradespeople. It's great for managing all sorts of business admin such as quotes, tracking invoices, timesheets and appointments, leaving you more time to focus on other important things. Tradify have very kindly given me a discount code for my viewers, so check them out by clicking the link in my show description and using discount code AMY50 to get 50% off. Now, let's crack on with this show. Hello and welcome to this week's Women in Trades. This week we're joined by Rachel from Instagram page Plumbing by Rach. Hello.
Hello. Hi,
Yeah.
you okay? Yeah,
Good.
all good.
Good. So to be honest, I've only recently discovered your account, and I was having a little look through all your posts, and I wanted you to come on because it's very clear that you're very passionate about what you do. And being a female tradesperson, or just being a tradesperson, to be honest, a tradeswoman. And yeah, I just wanted to have a little chat with you about it. So, is it something you've always dreamt of doing then, from school, as from a child, or is it something you just decided on when you
just decided pretty much? Well, in my last few years of school, when we had to decide what we wanted to do or have some kind of idea, I did well in school, so I got good GCSEs, and I wasn't a bad student, but I just wanted to talk to everyone. I didn't want to sit and concentrate. I just wanted to chat. And in the last year of doing my GCSEs, year 10 and 11, I just had a chat with my mum and dad, and I said I know I didn't want to go back and do my A-levels or go to uni or anything. I made that decision. And they were like, well, just go and do something new, just go and learn something that you've never done before. And then we went down the road of trades, and they said to try and be an electrician or a painter and decorator or a plumber. And I just stuck with plumber basically. And works experience came up, and I was talking to them about it then. This is how I know how early I was thinking about it, because when a work experience came up, they were like, well, we don't really want to put you in a van with a stranger, because I didn't know any tradespeople either, really.
Right, okay. So that's normally how people get into it, isn't it? It's like lads or girls. It's normally someone in the family or a family friend or...
It is, yeah. So, but it was completely random for me. It was just I wanted to try something new. So I just went to college when I finished school and started the course, and I loved it. So I stuck with it. But there was no I don't really have a reason. It was just that I knew I didn't want to go back to school, so that's what I decided to do at 16, and I've stuck with it completely right the way through. It's all I know how to do now. I don't know how to do anything else.
So you've got no regrets. You're glad you did it.
No. Definitely not. No, that's it.
That's interesting, because that you're a good student and quite academic, because I think a lot of people think that they weren't a good student, like they didn't enjoy school and they didn't want to, they wanted to do something hands-on rather than...
And the thing is, that was the other thing. When I first went to college for my very first interview, they sat me down and said, are you sure you want to do this course? Because you only need 4 Ds. I've got loads of other courses that better suit your GCSEs. And I was like,
mad.
No, trying to like talk me out of
That's
it. Like, you
mad.
don't. Yeah.
That almost makes me angry that people are trying to... You've made a decision and people are trying to talk you out of it because it might not be suitable because you're a girl. That's ridiculous. Or because you're clever, intelligent. That's absolutely ridiculous.
You're not... Yeah, well, that's what got me my job, because when my boss at the time, when I sent him my CV and my write-up and everything, he rang me and he said, I know that you want to do this job, and it's not that this is your last resort. You've not got the grades to do anything else. He said, I know that this is what you want to do, because you could have gone and done anything. You could have gone to uni if you wanted to, but I know that you want to do this job. And that's why he employed me in the end, because he knew that I wasn't I wasn't, because I had no other option. That wasn't my option. It was my first option.
Yeah. Oh, that's good then. So all that went in your favour. That's really made me angry. I
think my mum or my dad was with me, and we sat in the interview room, and they were like, there's all these other courses, you only need 4 Ds to be here. And I was like, no, I'm all right, thanks, that's what I want to do.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
It is smart,
That's
isn't it?
absolutely crazy. We're trying to encourage more girls to get into it, and the
Yeah.
colleges and schools are trying to talk
Yeah.
girls out of it.
You want to try something else, yeah.
Makes no sense at all.
No,
Okay.
no.
I did see one of your posts actually. That's you said that you'd never had a hard time through your career so far. You've never had a hard time being a female.
No, I mean, people say stupid things that they haven't thought about, and you have these like odd experiences. But I've always worked for the same company, and they've always treated me like they did ignore the fact that I'm a girl. Basically, they never say, well, we can't send Rachel there because she won't be able to do it because she's female. I've never been treated like that in a workplace, but I've never worked on like a site or anything and had been surrounded by builders that could be horrible to me, really. But the environment I've worked in, I've always been treated like I'm just like anyone else. But the only real things are just the stupid ones, like when you walk in someone's house and they keep the door open because they think a man's going to follow you behind and things like that, and ask you if you're on your own. Just stupid things. I put one on my story the other day because somebody had said I turned up to a house. I got out of a plumbing van in scruffs with a plumbing jumper on and with a tool bag over my shoulder, and the guy stood at the door and went, are you the plumber, or are you here to take notes? And I was like, take notes, yeah. So I've never had a horrible experience. It's just when people say like daft things, and like I said in that very post, that the thing that frustrates me the most is that people have to ask, all the time, or like make a big deal about it. I don't want people to say, oh, it's so nice to see a woman. I do agree that it's nice, but it's like a reminder that it's not a normal thing that they see, and there's not enough of them out there.
Yeah. I get what you mean. Like, I'm never offended when people comment, and I think lots of people, especially women and in houses that you go to, are very supportive. I think
they are. Yeah.
People are just, for whatever reason, shocked by it, aren't they? And that's the thing I don't understand. Like, it shouldn't be shocked.
Yeah. Like, but it's like I could guarantee, if I've never met someone before, I can guarantee that some kind of comment will be made about that, how great it is, or ask me why I wanted to do it or something like that. Whereas for a boy, I wouldn't be asked at all. It just really shows you how there's not many of us about, because people are so like taken aback by it.
Yeah.
So
are there many female tradies around your area?
No, when I went to college to start with, there was I started the course with 3 girls, but they were, I don't really know if it's different in Wales, obviously I'm from Wales, but they started the course with me around the same time, but they all went back to their ordinary lives after they couldn't get apprenticeships.
Right.
And the main reason why they couldn't get apprenticeships is because I was 16, and at the time you could pay 16-year-olds less as an apprentice, whereas people from 25 over, you can't pay the minimum apprentice wage of a 16-year-old. So it's not just their age it wasn't them being girls, it was their age that went against them, because they were going to have to be paid more to learn. Whereas if you get someone at 16 straight out of college when they don't really know anything, if they're 16 years old, you can pay them minimum apprentice wage.
Yeah.
So they're the only girls that I knew of, but they both ended up finishing. Oh, my little sister's an electrician apprentice.
Really? So, that's so cool.
Yeah, and she works at for a company that's got 2 other women as well. So
wow,
I know of. Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. How old is she?
She's 19.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm 23. She's 19, and we've got an older brother and sister who both went to uni. And I saw them go to uni and decided I didn't want to do that, and I got an apprenticeship. And then my little sister Lauren, she saw them go to uni, me go and be a tradie, and then she was like, "Oh, I could do that." And she's an apprentice electrician now. She's been doing it since she was 16, so she did it straight from school too. I knew that's what she wanted to do, and she absolutely loves it too. So she loves it.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
that's wicked.
Real, isn't it?
Yeah. So, college, how was your college experience for you? Because everybody I've spoke to so far has had a similar, quite negative experience, sort of with the college, the tutors and the organisation of the college and stuff. So that side of thing, how was that at your college?
For the first few years, fine, but not amazing, but fine. I started off a bit frustrated because I started at 16, straight from school. They put me on a level 1 diploma plumbing course. So that's like it's like introduction to building trades of plumbing. So it's not really even a qualification. They wouldn't let me start level 2, and I managed to get a job. I started the course in September, and I managed to get an apprenticeship by January. So but they made me finish that course to start. So it took me 5 years to get my qualification.
Why did you have to do level 1?
Well, I think it's because I was so young. So anybody that applied, if they hadn't had an apprenticeship, they were putting them at the time straight on a level 1.
Right.
But like they were just picking and choosing randomly. Some people could go straight onto level 2, full time, but they wouldn't let me. They wouldn't let me start level 2, even though I'd got an apprenticeship. So it like added a year on to my entire qualification, which is annoying. But throughout the years, it was completely fine. I mean, I think with I'm not blaming anyone, but I think with colleges you have to put your foot down, or you don't. They don't listen to you. You can't just ride the wave. You have to, put your foot down with them if they're taking the mix. So it was fine up until the very last few months of my level 3. So I was ready to qualify. I was supposed to, I did in the end, but I was due to qualify in July, and in the months running up to it, they lost their on-site assessor, the person to take your pictures and assess your own work. And obviously as a gas engineer, a massive part of it is the portfolio.
Yeah.
So, like I said, in the run up, they lost their on-site assessor, and they were just they couldn't find anyone else. So there was no one to complete our portfolios. So I was the only person who qualified in that July, because I wasn't very happy, and neither was my employer at the time. So we put, I got one of the tutors to come out in the end and finish my portfolio for me, because they had no on-site assessor to do it.
Right.
So, but all the other lads carried on for the next year. They left in July. That I can't remember how many of us there was now, over 10, and the rest of them all had to finish in the next year. That left the summer, and some of them took another year to complete. And I'm still not even sure if they've got an on-site assessor in place. So, but other than that, fine. But yeah, I do think they need to get better with their organisation.
Yeah, I think in fact everyone I've spoken to so far has said the same, that college has been hard work to sort of get through. I know Helena, Pink Plumbing, she had the same problem. Hers has dragged out, hasn't it, over 5 years so far, and she's not finished yet. She's had similar problems, so it's frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's not even it's not even for us. It's for, if you've got an employer, they're waiting to get you out in the field and earning their money that you've been draining from them for the last 5 years. They want to get you out and working. And I was getting a lot of, they were asking me all the time, when are you finishing and things like that. And it's not always on you. And it wasn't like them lads that didn't finish that year, it wasn't their fault, but they would have had their employers asking questions, why hasn't it been sorted, things like that. So that's the other side of it as well, for your employer, isn't it, not just the employee.
What about sort of being at college and being a female? Did you struggle, or were all the lads sort of sound with you and you just got on with it?
Well, like I said, when I first started the course, so for all of level 1, which was the first year, there was 2 other women on the course. So I immediately, as soon as I walked in, I started talking to them. But I got on, the lads were the same age as me, so I got on really well with all the lads as well. The women were a little bit older, but I got on really well with the lads. And then after the level 1, because I went on to the apprenticeship course, which they couldn't be on at level 2.
Right.
So I was just with all the lads, but never really uncomfortable. Everyone talks to you like normal, and I'm quite a confident and gobby anyway, so I didn't really struggle too much. So but no, then none of them were horrible to me, nothing like that, and I got on really well with them.
That's good. That's very positive. So what do you think are the main things that are putting girls off, apart from school and college staff that are actively trying to put girls off getting into trades?
Of course, do
you think it's the stereotype that they're just not, girls aren't suitable, or
not really sure why my attitude was different, but I just think 16-year-old girls coming out of school think, oh God, no, oh, I don't want to, because I didn't even really know what plumbing was, but I was ready to nosedive into it and find out what it was about and learn something new. Whereas I think they just think, oh God, toilets, I don't want to do that for a living, and that's it, and they rule it out. But it's like when I was in school, it was like a little bit funny that's what I wanted to do, and I think that's just their attitude at 16. When you're a little bit immature still, it doesn't sound like I've not struck. I've done really well out of it. I bought my own house at 21 and things like that. So it's really it's worked out really well for me, because obviously you're earning while you're learning. So if you put all that money away and you wouldn't get that at uni, you end up in the minuses going to uni, don't you?
Exactly.
So I think that's all that's putting people off at that age. At 16, they just think, oh God, no, it's disgusting, or it's not right for me. But I think it just, I don't know. And a lot of women think of it later on in life too, don't they? So,
yeah, well, that's what happens with me. I think. Yeah. I was talking to someone the other day and just saying, for a lot of people, I think it's so hard at 16 to know and decide what you want to do in your life. Like, I think you're very lucky if from 16, 17, 18, you know what you want to do. Like for me, I needed to just live my life a bit, go out and do a few different things.
Yeah.
I went away traveling, did, a few different things, and then decided this is what I want to do. And I've not looked back, but I was a different person when I was 16, and you just don't know. Well, I met a lot of people just don't know what they want to do, but it's good that we've got the option, whatever age, to go back to college. And
exactly.
I think with me, with the company that I'm with now, because I work for a company 3 days a week and then do my own stuff the rest of the time. With the company I'm with now, the thing that got me the position was they could see that I was so determined because I'd paid to put myself through the course. Like they knew that I wanted to be there. I wasn't just there because I had to be somewhere in education. Like it was, I wanted to do it, and I paid to put myself through it. I'd kitted myself out with all my tools and stuff, and I think they said to me, that's what swayed it for us. We can tell you want to do it, so
that's it.
Put the effort in and stuff.
Well, what my mum said to me at the time when I was 16, and again it's a push for girls to do it, she said, go and do the course, get your NVQ, get your qualifications. You started now, you'll be 21 when you've done it, and then do what you want. If you don't like it, you've got them qualifications to go back to. Just you can go and do what you want after that, but just go and see it through, get your qualifications, and then do what you want. And I carried on with it, but it's right. Just go and get a qualification. If you don't know what you want to do, go and try something new and get the qualification in it, and you've always got it then, haven't you?
Yeah, excellent advice.
Yeah.
So do you still work for the company that you did your apprenticeship with then?
Yeah. So when I was 16, and then I qualified when I was 5 years later, so 21. And they said, if you stay with us, then we'll give you a share of the business. So that's how I work, basically. So I still work for the same company. We're only a little company that it's recently downsized. So there was 3 engineers, an apprentice and a secretary, and at the beginning of December it's gone down to just 2 engineers and an apprentice, so me, my colleague and our apprentice. So that's why I've been so busy at the minute. It's slightly downsized, so it's basically just a very small company, me, my colleague, and we've got an apprentice. So yeah,
that's amazing though.
The same company. Yeah.
So do you share the apprentice?
Well, not really, no, because the apprentice is level 2 qualified, so he's a plumber, so he can go out and do his own jobs, like changing taps and radiators and things like that. Or if I'm fitting a boiler and I need him, then he can help me with it. But my colleague does servicing, gas certificates, and like breakdowns. So really, you only need one. They're like hour-long jobs, so you only really need one person to do them kind of jobs.
Oh, okay. So you have sort of your own roles, like.
Yeah. Well, before the other engineer left, I was on breakdown servicing and gas certs. But when he left, I had to pick up doing a little bit of what I already did, but I've had to pick up boiler installs too, because that's how I learned during my apprenticeship. I learned installing boilers, so I can do them. So that's what I've picked up on in the last couple of months.
Yeah.
And that's why my account's been a little bit more busy, because I've been posting all of my installs. I've got like one a day at the minute.
I did notice you have already fitted a lot of boilers this year.
Yeah, we've got 7 in so far, and we've got 2 left to go this week that I know of.
Wow.
You're going in at the minute, yeah.
And you can tell you are so determined. Like, I was watching you lift that boiler the other day on your own. You're one of those girls that you can just tell it's not going to beat you. Like, you're going to do it whatever it takes.
Yeah.
The boiler's getting in.
And again, one of the most common questions I get is, well, do you not, oh, you're a girl, that's great, like, fantastic, but you can see in their eyes that they still don't think you're capable of it. And they always say, is it not a bit heavy for you, the boilers and the radiators and stuff? So that's why I post it on my Instagram, because I think even if you say, no, it's not a problem for me, I can do it, I still like to show I do it all the time of me lifting boilers on and off, because I think what more can you need than video evidence that I can do it?
Yeah. Do customers ever try and help you, like offer you help and stuff?
Yeah. Well, the one where I was struggling on that, he was talking to me in the kitchen because he just made me a coffee. And he said, are you sure you don't need a lift with that? And I was like, no, you're right. And I asked him to go in the other room so that I didn't embarrass myself.
Did you?
Like I was trying to push it on the wall, because he would have jumped in. And on one other occasion, I was walking into a house with a boiler, carrying it, and the tenant took it off me and carried it up the stairs for me. I was like, no, I'm fine. And he insisted on taking it. So.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's annoying, but.
Yeah, it is annoying. I think there's a fine line between like men just being nice and trying to help you, and being like, patronizing. And I hate when customers stand and watch you, because I already feel a bit under pressure all the time.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not gonna lie, I've gone through real periods of anxiety over when you've got a new job starting, or you've had a first day on a job and you weren't quite sure of people on there, on site work and stuff, when you work with trades, and you feel sort of anxious about going back and that. And I think the worst thing is when people stand and watch you. I've had people filming me and laughing when I'm up a ladder doing stuff, and I'm like, I've had to say to them, that's because you're a girl. Like, it really winds me up sometimes. But
yeah, I've never had that. That's awful. I think I'd go mad. I think I'd really see red with that.
Yeah, site work's a different game. Like the work that I do now, just on mainly domestic stuff. My own stuff's all domestic, but with this company, it's not really like that. I just find the customers are the same with me, but I just find I just mess up as soon as someone starts watching. Yeah. I know I can do my job, but as soon as someone starts watching, that's it. I forget everything. I'm like that. I go all caggy-handed. I can't even hold my tools. Yeah. And when you're dropping stuff and you think,
hold the spanner and that. Yeah,
that's the worst. And you think they're watching, thinking this girl hasn't got a clue. It's because she's a girl, and it's just like, no, it's because you're making me sweat, breathing over my shoulder. Like, leave me to it.
It just goes wrong. It just immediately goes wrong. I just wish they'd leave and then come back when it's finished.
Yeah. Like when you're doing something, like for me, if you're using the multi-tool to get a floorboard up, and you think this is going to be the day that I hit just because they're still watching me. This is going to be the day.
Never done it to this day, but it would happen. Yeah.
Oh, you're brave saying that.
I
won't say it out loud. That's one of my biggest fears.
Oh, I know.
I really worry about things like that.
The pipes are all right, because I sort of have a brief idea of where everything goes, don't I? So
yeah.
It'll be a cable for me.
Yeah. What's your favourite type of work then? Like your favourite? Were you enjoying doing more of the sort of gas certs and stuff like that, or are you loving?
No, really.
Equal every day.
Yeah, equal. If I could do like a share of them, then I'd be happy, because I do like the boilers. The boilers just really quite hard work. Like I'd done 2 in a row on my own with no help. And by the time I'd lifted a boiler on and a boiler off and then a boiler on and a boiler off, you just feel exhausted.
Yeah.
But I do really like, getting all the pipes really nice and shiny and everything. I like that bit. It's like doing like a little bit of art. So I like that bit, but I couldn't carry on like this day in, day out, because I'd be absolutely exhausted. It's such hard work.
Yeah.
So a fair share of both, really. I quite like maintenance. I like a day of going out and fixing loads of stuff too, getting people's boilers back on and up and running and things like that.
I think variety is nice, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I hadn't before December, when the other engineer left, I hadn't done a lot of boilers, so I did quite enjoy I have quite enjoyed getting back into them over the last few weeks. But yeah, I like a bit of all of it, really.
Yeah. That's like me. I like, a good variety of work, because if I'm doing the same thing over and over, I just start to sort of lose motivation.
Yeah.
What about exactly. What's the worst job you've ever been to, or have you got a job that sticks in your mind and you think, oh God, hope I never have to go through that again?
I don't know, really. I did actually post one on my Instagram of where I was only trying to change a zone valve. You know what a zone valve is on a heating system. And I was turning just disconnecting one of the pipes, and it split the cylinder, and I ended up there all day draining. I had a day full of work booked in, and I had to go back in. Just when things don't go right, that's all. I hate jobs like that. Just makes you feel like you don't know what you're doing, or sometimes you get repetitive boiler faults, where you think you've got the thing to fix it, and then it doesn't work again, and over again, things like that.
Yeah.
I don't really have like a horrible job I can even think of, really. Not specifically. Yeah.
Have you ever had
to be honest, carry on.
No, carry on. What was you going to say?
I was going to say the majority of stuff I've had problems with, I pretty much decide that I'm not going to do it again. I just try to avoid that work ever again. If there's ever been anything like that, I just decide I'll stick with what I know, and I won't try and attempt anything that I don't.
I'm like that though, to be fair.
Yeah, I just think there's plenty of work out there. If you don't want to do it, then don't do it.
Yeah. Have you ever had any like nightmare customers, like really like that have really drove you mad? Or have you ever gone into a house and been like a bit unsure, maybe a bit scared, or have been there on your own with customers?
Yeah, I get that a lot, to be honest. And I think you touched on this with Helena the other day, that I do sometimes, and I've got a story on this as well. Sometimes you knock the door and like a proper sus man opens it, and when you really think about it, I just think I'm a 23-year-old young woman, and I'm about to walk into this man's house, and I don't know if I'm ever going to come out of here.
I know it's mad, and people
all the time.
Lots of people, and maybe lots of men, will watch this and like laugh and think, "Oh God, they've got an overactive imagination." But I think the same thing.
Easy. You're literally. If this man was a weirdo or a kidnapper, he's opening his door, you're walking straight in, and then he's closing the door behind you, and that's it. You've literally invited yourself into his house. So yeah, I do think that when men are a little bit sus, then I don't like it, and I like to say I won't go back there again.
Yeah.
But yeah, for anything to happen, really, it can be quite scary. Nothing. I don't want to say it, but nothing's happened to this day, touch wood. But but it's still quite unnerving sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, it can be. I sometimes think, depends what mood I'm in. I sometimes think, oh, you're silly, like you've watched too much Luther. You've got crazy ideas in your head. But, and then you read the papers and watch the news and you hear crazy stuff all the time. And you think anything could happen. I think, like with me, like you touched earlier on about your parents, discussing with you what you wanted to do. It was a bit different for me because of doing it later in life. I just decided, and I didn't even really tell anyone. I just went back to college and started, and then told everyone after. And my mum's always been really supportive of me doing this. Was both of my brothers are electricians as well, like they have been since school. But my dad has always been a different story, and he is Indian as well. And men are always notoriously overprotective of their daughters, and I'm the only girl. Every dad's sort of protective of their daughter, but yeah, he wasn't keen on me doing it, and I think it's a variety of things. I think he thought he couldn't ever imagine me using tools and not killing myself or making.
Does that really annoy you, or do you understand? Does it annoy you at all that he doesn't really? It's better now that you literally are earning money off it, and you're pretty much showing him that you can do it.
He's better now.
Yeah,
he's more chilled about it because I've been doing it a few years, and I've done work at his house, so he was quite happy then.
Yeah. Oh, chef for nothing.
Yeah, but I don't know whether I don't know how I feel about it. I think I'm just used to the way he is. It's always been the same with him. Whatever I've done in my life, he's always been, he's a warrior. He worries about me. I suppose I'll always be his little girl, and I do get that. He thinks I'm crazy. Like I went traveling. I went backpacking in Asia on my own for a few months, and it was. When I told him that I was going, it was like I just tried to murder him or something. He was so upset with me. He wouldn't talk to me for ages. He just didn't want me to go. And I get that parents are always trying to protect their kids and stuff. It's not that he's not supportive. He's just, I don't know. I think he'd be happier if I was doing something super safe maybe sat in an office all day, but I'd be so bored. So
yeah, my dad loves it. He's really handy. He does everything himself. He can do a bit of plumbing, a bit of electrics, things like that, and he loves it. It always makes me laugh. Like for Christmas, he'll write a little screw fix list of things he wants and then give it to me and Lauren. And we've got a brother, but he's got a law degree, so he doesn't do anything really construction wise. So he gives his list to me and my sister, and he's like, yeah, I'd like this tool and this tool and this tool, and we go to Screwfix and buy it for him. It's really. It's funny, but he loves it. He loves both doing it, and chatting about it.
I was gonna say, do you sit and chat about like tools and jobs and stuff? Because my dad's he does no DIY at all. I don't even know if he owns a screwdriver, so I'd never talk to him about any of that because he just wouldn't have a clue, wouldn't be interested. Sometimes I go on like really cool jobs, what I think is cool, and I try and tell him about it, and he's like, yeah, just trying to get me off the phone. The only one he was quite interested in was when I did some work recently with Synergy Smart Homes, because he's into sort of gadgets and all sorts of technology. Yeah. So once I started saying about all the touch screens and all this, he was quite into it. But I couldn't talk to him about anything else to do with work. But it must be nice having that with your dad, being able to.
Yeah, it's like they're doing an extension at the minute actually, and I've just been around theirs, and they were showing me around the kitchen, and he's already run all of his pipe runs and stuff that I didn't even ask me to help because he did it himself.
So you and your sister will be able to work together when she's qualified.
We have discussed it. Yeah, she's doing a bit of everything at the minute with the company that she's in, but I think she wants to explore all different options when she qualifies. Look into stuff like commercial and things like that.
Okay.
And just have a little bit of experience of everything. I'm very thinking on domestic. I've trained on domestic. I wouldn't really be interested in getting into commercial or anything like that, or do anything different. I'm quite happy with what I know about domestic houses, whereas she's not like me. She wants to go and learn more things, which is fantastic. You should broaden your horizon.
Yeah, definitely. What's been your proudest moment so far since you started? There must be loads. Yeah.
Plumbing or personal?
But both then. Plumbing first.
I don't know really. I'm just generally quite proud of myself.
You should be. You really should be, because I think you're like a real inspiration to young girls looking to go into it, because you can, like I said earlier, you can just tell that you're super passionate about it, and you're not just trying at it, you're smashing it, like you're properly going for it. And I think you can really see your determination and stuff in just through your pictures and on your account, and it's really great for
thank you. I appreciate it.
Next generation.
The most proudest thingy, really. And this is why I urge girls to go into it. Is I got my apprenticeship at 16, and by the time I'd qualified, so within 5 years, when I got my mortgage on my very first house, I'd literally not even got my first wage as a fully qualified engineer yet.
That's amazing.
I'd done it on an apprenticeship wage, and that's why I'm so like thinking about people going and getting an apprenticeship, because you don't realise, you know, it is pennies really when you first start, and I really was on pennies, but you can still put money away, and it's you know, rather than after 5 years coming out of your education with a load of debt, if it's not for you, then don't do it. Don't feel like you have to go to uni because that's what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
There's so many perks to going and getting an apprenticeship and earning your money while you're working. And my little sister again is done exactly what I have, and she started saving for a house at 16 too, and she's going to be in the same scenario as I am at 21 on the housing ladder, even if it's not one to move into, even if it's one to do up and rent out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just that's why I try and, you know, I want people to see other sides to it, not just going to uni.
That's really great to hear. You've done really, really well, and it's nice to hear someone sort of, you know, who's a success story basically, because I think through school and stuff, it's drummed into you need to go to uni, it's the only way forward, it's the only way, and it's really not. Like there are other options, and you've proved that. And I think
when I went to a parents' evening once with my mum and dad, and my English teacher said, "So you're coming back to do your A levels then?" To my mum and dad, and I was like, "No, I'm not. I'm going to college." And she was like, "No, you need to get your A levels first." And I was like, "No, I'm going to college." She was like, "Well, if you do your A levels, you can be the manager of a plumbing firm, not just a plumber." And I was like, "Well, I want to go and be a plumber. I don't want to be a manager of a plumbing firm." So again, get people to. And when I was in last year of year 11. And we were all in and they were talking to us about what we're going to do. It was all about sixth form. That when in year 11, when you're trying to go and decide what you want to do, there was no other options other than going and doing your A levels. No one talked about anything else. That was all they talked about, was going to do your A levels. Like there was no other option, and it felt like you were going against what everyone was saying. Yeah. So again, there should be more encouragement for it, and not just for people who didn't do very well in their GCSEs or aren't gonna do very well. It's for anyone.
Yeah, because I think that a lot of people think that you go into a trade because you had no other option, because you're a bit stupid, a bit thick, you couldn't get another job or whatever. So it was like a last resort, and it's really not for a lot of people. They do it because they want to do it, or
why not? Because if you're going to earn the same amount of money as you did if you went to uni anyway, then why go to it doesn't make sense. And so many people come out of uni and can't do anything with their degree.
Yeah, so, I know loads of people that not use their degrees, loads and loads, and they've just got a load of debt now. That's that.
So there just are other options. It's really important for it to be discussed.
Yeah, my school was the same, and obviously that was I'm 10 years older than you, and when I was there, it was the same. There was it didn't seem like there was any other option but doing your A levels, and especially for girls, like I think because it wasn't spoken about at school, or on like on the open evenings at college and stuff about, it was never pushed for girls to go into a trades. I just think it's something that never crossed my mind at the time. I don't know, maybe you think it's not available to you because no one ever talks about it. And
I think that's exactly right. I think that's the reason why people don't get into it.
Yeah,
definitely.
Oh, thank you so much for coming to talk to me today. You've been absolutely amazing, and I think everybody needs to follow your account. So what's your Instagram account?
It's at Plumbing by Rach.
Plumbing by Rach. Okie dokie. And are you okay with people DMing you with questions and stuff, people that might want to get into the trade? And
of course I am.
That's amazing. Thank you. Keep smashing it, keep doing what you're doing and being an inspiration, and good luck for the future. I'll speak to you again soon, hopefully, if you come back on. I want to see how you're progressing and stuff.
Thank you very much.
It'd be great if we could have a chat with your sister as well next time, see how she's getting on with her apprenticeship and that, talk her into it for me.
I will do. She's a little bit more shy than me, but I'll try my best.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Okay, take care.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
That was Women in Trades with Amy the Sparky. Never miss an episode by subscribing now. Just hit the subscribe button and turn your notifications on.